Ladies and gentlemen, short guide on how to solo Zek'vir on double question mark difficulty as Enhancement Shaman. And everything I'm going to say in this video is going to apply to every class. I find it much easier to do this as melee compared to ranged, because he has two frontals, one of them is a cone, and the further away you're from the boss, the harder it is for you to dodge it, and if you're melee, you're gonna be right in his face most of the time. If you have lust, you can send it at the start. It's not necessary though, because this fight is not a sprint. If you play correctly, you can fight him basically forever. And you want to stay in his face unless he casts the purple circle, which is a fear, run out of that. And keep dodging his two frontals, one of which, as I said previously, is a cone. He's also going to summon X, which you have to kill before they hatch. So always prioritize them and switch to them as soon as they're up, and be careful because if they're far from him, he can actually get you with the frontals. He has two types of casts. You always want to interrupt the regenerating one because he's going to heal if that goes off. And that also means that your interrupt is not going to be up for his other cast, which puts a dot on you and slows you down. Now every class is going to have some kind of a skill to remove the slow, which is also going to remove the dot. For Shaman, this is Thunderous Pause, but if you're playing something else, you need to check your toolkit and figure out what this talent is going to be. It's imperative that you remove the slow, because that is going to make dodging the frontals much easier, and of course it's going to remove the dot, which can potentially kill you. As a Shaman, you also have another cool trick in your pocket. You can use the Windrush Totem with the Jetstream talent, which also removes snares. Even more so, you can take the Totemic Recall, which is going to reset the cooldown of the Windrush once you use it. And that is very useful because sometimes you can consume your Thunderous Pulse buff when you shift into Ghost Wolf form without having the slow buff on you. You're then not going to have the Thunderous Pulse buff when he actually slows you down, so at this point you can use the Windrush Totem, reset its cooldown, and have two get out of jail free cards to remove the slow. At 60%, he jumps in the middle and then phase 2 starts, which has the same mechanics with some extras on top. The first new addition is he's going to summon some swirlies on the ground that you need to dodge. That is actually not bad because he's channeling, which means that he's not doing damage, he's not using his other skills, so just dodge him and chill. His other new mechanic, occasionally he's going to summon portals around the room. Make sure to dodge those, because if you hit them, you're most certainly going to get sucked in and die. Another big tip, have Bran with you and have him in a healer's pack. He's going to drop potions around the boss and you'll be basically soaking them up when you're going around and dodging the frontals. He actually hits pretty hard, so make sure you're swapping the potions, and if you get low, use a defensive or your own potion instead. There's one more addition in phase 2, the purple circle that fears now also has 4 orbs around it, so you need to dodge those as well when you're running out. So that's pretty much it. It's rinse and repeat. It's a lot of mechanics, but if you do them correctly, you can basically stay in this fight forever. And I would also recommend for you to go to lago.io and get some weak auras that are going to help you track everything that's happening on the screen, especially the mechanics that are usually wiping you and killing you. I found that the most useful ones are the ones that tells you to interrupt when he's casting, the one that shows you that you have the dot slow on you, and of course the one that tells you to go and kill the egg once this is summoned. I'm gonna say this one more time, but if you have the option to be a melee spec, I find it much easier compared to range, as you have to be relatively quick dodging the cone frontal, and if you're ranged, you basically have to be playing as melee and stay close to him at all times, so it's easier to step aside. And of course, being ranged, it's easy to forget that sometimes. But of course, it's definitely doable. I actually tried few elemental pulls and got him down as low as 10%, but enhancement definitely felt much easier. Now, this right here is a very scary moment for enhancement because the egg spawns far away from him, so he can turn around and snipe you with the frontal if you're not careful. Which is why I summoned my Earth Elemental, hoping that it's gonna take aggro and bait the frontal if one was there, but luckily it was the fear that followed, so I didn't have to deal with the frontal altogether. However, those are the scary moments indeed, so you have to be very careful if the egg spawns far away, and you have to build some distance between yourself and the boss. As long as you manage that, just keep running laps around him and he will eventually die. So that's it for this guide. Hopefully it helps you with your kill. Let me know how that goes in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Now get out of here.
Fear incoming. frontal.